views up the left-hand side as we make a left visual approach, landing towards the southeast this morning. Trust you've had a pleasant flight. Hope to see you again soon. Thank you.
Uluru is easily the most recognizable natural landmark in Australia. A gargantuan rock that 400 million years ago rolled 90 degrees onto its side in the primordial mud surrounding it, causing its once horizontal rings to sit upright. This, combined with its iron-rich orangey-red surface, makes for a sight unlike any other on Earth. We're here to see the 50,000-year-old Ananu cave paintings, and not only learn about, but collect the pigment used to create them. The Ananu people don't allow themselves to be filmed. We were, however, given permission to draw them, so I opted to sketch a little while we were with them and head back to the hotel while the memories were fresh in my mind to put snapshots of those memories on paper, starting first with a Yidaki or didgeridoo demonstration.
Does anyone know what the name of the instrument is? Yidaki, Yidiki, many of those names, right? Cheek behind, cheeks in, tongue behind my teeth. Not up against it, just behind it, okay? I'm just gonna let it go one pitch. It's sort of like a high F up here. Tongue comes back, that'll be the do part. Listen to the pitch of that. Tongue's in the middle of my mouth now. Got the high, got the mid. I put them together. Oh, now I'm going to go didgeridoo, first part. Didgeridoo. And do out. Put them together. We call it that now. Alright, so if I was to hum and sound like didgeridoo, like that in the instrument, I'll do that. So didgeridoo, now you know it's a rhythm. There's other ways of doing it, I'm just showing the basic way.
Alright, we don't typically do food things on these videos, but this experience that we're about to do is too cool. We got emu kebabs, camel sausages. I saw kangaroo steaks online, but I don't think we have them. Alright, emu kebabs, camel sausages, here we go. Right. I don't know if that's good. It's a pretty cool deal, because basically everybody can cook their own. Emu sausage, or sorry, emu kebab, not emu sausage. It's good. I think I like beef better.
All right, here we go. Yeah, it's a little bland, but most of our food in Australia has been a little bland.
Camel sausage. I like that better than the emu kebab for sure.
Yeah, it's a good mild sausage.
The symbols used in dot painting of First Nations Australians are a coded language. The dotting technique not only serves as a form of artistic expression, but also as a protective layer, preserving sacred knowledge within the artwork, which in many cases is only known to them. Each painting is embedded with the cultural and spiritual practices of the Ananu people themselves. By using this method, artists can share important cultural narratives while keeping them safe from those who might misinterpret or misuse them. We were lucky enough to get some time with an Ananu artist. Unfortunately, being watched closely by her white handler, she quietly painted and didn't speak much. We painted alongside her while learning that each symbol and pattern in the painting is either related to their account of the creation of the world, the actions of ancestral beings, and the moral and social guidelines for living, or more tangible things such as the landscape, important sites, travel routes, and events. This mapping helps to maintain a living connection between the people and their ancestral past. To be honest though, the dynamic between the First Nations artist and her white handler was problematic for both Mary and me. He told us her name, which by her reaction was not her real name, and felt like it had been plucked straight out of Little House on the Prairie, so I won't repeat it. So when Uluru was given back to the indigenous people, part of what changed was, being that it's a spiritual site for them, they didn't want people climbing on it or hiking on it. They removed the chain that hikers would use to pull themselves up onto Uluru, but that left holes in the rock itself. And so people who had taken rocks from Uluru or from the park over the years had returned them with notes about how sorry they were for taking these rocks. And to fill those holes, they decided to pulverize these rocks into powder, add kind of a cement agent to it, and fill those holes. So it was kind of a cool way to do that. Before time, ancestral Ananu spirits took on human form to craft the world into existence. Using earth pigments on protected cave surfaces, First Nations Australians began documenting their stories from as far back as 50,000 years ago. Through the centuries, this cave art has evolved to depict a wide range of subjects, from hunting practices and legal codes to ceremonies and their first interactions with Europeans, all as a way of preserving and sharing knowledge with future generations. Today, these ancient rock paintings are among the most enduring and oldest historical records created by any people on Earth. As an artist traveling the world in search of ancient pigments, I was fascinated by the red, yellow, orange, black, and white earth pigments used in these paintings. Pigments that had lasted for thousands of years with very little degradation. Unfortunately, before the Ananu people reclaimed ownership of the park, and before color photography became the norm, tour guides would splash the cave walls with water to help the paintings show up better in black and white photos. This happened multiple times a day for decades, causing irreparable damage to these irreplaceable works of art. Fortunately, Mary was able to reach out to these extraordinary people and obtain these same pigments for my work. So there's really one of three ways that we gather pigment on these adventures. One is that we're given permission from the indigenous people, the First Nations people, to go in and collect that pigment. Two is that we hire an indigenous First Nations guide to come with us and help us collect it and show us how to do it properly and with respect. And then the third is that we simply don't get that permission and that they go in and collect that pigment for us. And that's what we did here at Uluru. Paintings I created from our time at Uluru are not only infused with the pigments we obtained from there, but with our time spent with the spectacular didgeridoo player, our time dot painting with the Ananu artist, and the extraordinary experience viewing the 50,000-year-old cave art. Those paintings are available on my website. So we just got off the airplane from Sydney. We got on it at 9 a.m. on Sunday morning, flew for 14 hours, and landed at 6 a.m. on Sunday morning, 3 hours earlier. So I can finally check time travel off the bucket list.